Welcome to tech support. Kyle's trying to figure out exactly what to do. He's pushing tons of buttons, but I said, we got to fucking go now. We're going live. We got some live stuff to do. We're looking for breakout trades. He's just told me today he's trading 5-minute candles. I want to know what's going on. I caught the top of Bitcoin and I caught that bottom of the dump yesterday. I need his help. He needs to tell me if I'm closing. I need to know all these things. So guys, we're live trading. Let's fucking
you
go.
just saying.
Talk to me. What did I just say?
You just said literally before we started that some of your entries are running away, but I see things on a low time frame, they're starting to pull back slightly. So maybe just put it up and share what you're looking at. Also, guys, please subscribe. If you haven't already, subscribe. We have a mandate. We need to get over 41,000 subscribers today, or Dylan is fired. Literally.
Basically, it's the end. It's over. Okay. Pull out that subscriber count, bro, so we can get that going. If you can find it, I'll pull out my BTC. And Jesus, yesterday was a bit of a rough ride in terms of pumpage and dumpage. 40,007. No, those are rookie numbers, bro. Rookie numbers.
So we need to get to 41 or Dylan is fired. But let's go into your screen.
They're going to cut it off. Literally, yeah, guys, we're in that phase now where it's like subscribe now or I cut it off. It's literally, that's where we are now. In the current market phase. Okay, bro. So yeah, yesterday was wild. I mean, the Bitcoin pumped into all-time highs. I don't know what your plan was, but my strategy was to catch a short at 110. So I had limit orders waiting at 110, missed that, but I picked it up at about 109.5 and caught that short. Felt very proud of myself. But then BTC dropped down into my hot zone here yesterday, 106,600, and then I longed the shit out of it as well. So I'm busy in a long short at the moment. I'm 200K long, and I've just picked up a second short order there at 110K. So now I'm pretty much flat on these things. And I know you look at tons of macro stuff, and I'm interested to know which one am I closing here, bro?
I would lean. Look, the thing is, yeah, if you adequately hedged, I think it makes sense to keep both. I'm trying to see, it's a little bit small on that. Is it cross margin short, that top one over there?
Yeah, so I'm cross margin.
What are you down? What percentage is that?
I don't work on percent. I just work on rinsage. But like, yeah, it's down. It's $174,000 short now. But I caught the long 200K off my hot zone. So I just, that long's cooking now. My assumption here is obviously we need to make that higher low. Otherwise, so if I'm going to lean bullish, I think I got to end this. I got to end this short on this retest. Yeah.
So from my side, I think as long as Bitcoin remains above yesterday's low, the low of the day, it's fine. Longs are fine to hold. I think that it's more dangerous to be in shorts, especially with these breakout moves. I think that you need to be very quick to position to flip short, though, if you start to see a break and close below yesterday's low. For me, really, that's going to start to be the trigger, because that's going to be the equivalent of losing, it's a range breakout. You're breaking out of a clear range where Bitcoin put in highs at the same kind of level over and over around that $108,000, $109,000. And if you break back below, that's the equivalent of 2021 top, where we went from ultimately, 65K, 69K. As soon as you broke back under 65K, it was over. Then, as you would say, the rinsage came in. But I still think, I'm more interested in longs right now. I think bulls maintain control. I do think there will be a big leverage flush at some point, but I don't know if they've built up enough leverage yet. And the reason that I say that is because if we look at those long to short ratios, we can see they're pretty balanced and neutral. We can also see that the funding has come down here and there on the hourly timeframes. And I'd really want to see like extremely, extremely positive funding to suggest that, that bulls are getting too greedy.
Yeah, man. And so yesterday's low was quite brutal, though. They came with a 3.5% dump there on BTC. So, I mean, yesterday's low is, 106. I mean, that's a full round trip on that long that I picked up there.
Yeah. Right now, the only trade that I'm in is ETH. I'm pretty much, it's right where my entry is now. 2,596 is where I entered. I'm in a pretty high leverage position over there. I'm trying to time like a really good entry on ETH for big breakout move, because I believe ETH is still going to mark up into the 3,000s. And it's just, you have to be patient. It takes time, right? you keep getting chopped in and out, but eventually if you get the perfect trade, so I'm trying to minimize my downside risk as much as possible. I'm not taking drawdowns more than like 0.5%. I'm just simply cutting. As soon as price moves into profit, I'm putting the stop loss into break even or to cover the fees, and that's it. And I keep doing that over and over until I get the breakout. And that's how I've taken this account now. Let me just view it exactly. I'm just going to quickly view it. I'll let you know. So I want to hear about your trade as well, but this is for against David Tech's bots. I'm now up to 5,600, right? I'm on 5,600%.
There, I can see your
$5,600.
Okay, so you loaded 𝗏𝗏𝗏. I loaded 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏. And so what was your strategy? Did you have a strategy against them? Like, do you have a set plan? Because I thought I needed to pick a strategy, and I've got one, and I didn't get my entry, obviously.
So my strategy right now is to pretty much trade ETH. That's it. My strategy is to get ETH on the breakout, and I've been playing it over and over. Sometimes I close the position if like, you know, I think that the profit's decent for the day. It's more day trading strategy. So I'm just in and out. I know that for many watching now, they probably want to be able to copy this, which is making it a little bit tough because I'm monitoring on a super low time frame, right? So I'm using like the 5-minute charts over here, and I'm just gauging the overall trend, right? So for example, you know, I've been long multiple times on ETH, you know, throughout, let's just clean that up a bit. You know, throughout here, I was long on ETH, right? Long on ETH, long on ETH, long on ETH, long on ETH. And as soon as this started to break down, you know, I cut it over there. Out, I started to get back into ETH over there. I cut it before going to bed because I was just like, I don't want to have to monitor this trade. So most of these trades, I'm just monitoring independently. Like in the short term, you know, this 5-minute trend has been pretty aggressive on ETH. I know this is super low time frame stuff that might go over some people's heads, but there is a possible shift in structure over here, which I need to be careful that we're not going to put in.
That's looking a little bit, right? A little bit tired. Yeah.
Yeah, you got. I mean, you got
so
the
much
trend
divergence through as well on like 1 hours and those types of things.
Yeah.
Like
and
really
you have theoretically broken the structure of the high-low structure over here, and you've back-tested into resistance. So I'm going to monitor these candles that we have right now. But high time frame, you know, I'm really thinking ETH could still put in a sizable move. You know, if we look on anything from like, you know, 2-week scale, you have your green dots, momentum oscillators are fully reset. So this is why I lean towards on the high time frame for ETH. What I covered in the show is possibly something like that, a move towards the yearly open, right? That will get these oscillators really cooking. And then you're probably going to put in a bit of a pullback and a high low. And then I'm thinking that pullback probably comes down something like that, high low. And then maybe we get continuation of this bull run.
But Brew, tell me this, your strategy against the bots. So you literally trading breakout trades on 5 minutes on ETH. Is that what the plan is?
More trend trades. I wouldn't say breakout trades. I'm just trying to gauge the high lows because we're in bullish market structure. So I'm just trading those high lows throughout. So I mean, I could close this position now, and I mean, I'm confident that this is already enough to beat the bots. Like, what are we thinking for David's?
So I wanted to do it in one trade. So I've got various strategies, and one of them is a bullish divergence on the 4-hour reversal play that I use with my oscillators that I do in my accelerator calls. And it's a one trade. It's a one-hit, one trade. You do it in like, it takes a week or two to wait for your entry, and then you smash it. And I was going to do BONK, and I've preset all my orders, all these things. But now obviously BONK's run away. So my next trade might actually have to be possibly a short that I need to wait for. So, you know, the plan was, let's just find BONK here. There's BONK. Look at this thing. It's actually getting quite aggressive here. We might have to trade this pop here. Won't you pull out your 5-minute candle there, bro?
Okay, hold on. Let me get it. What am I looking at BONK?
Look at BONK here. It's looking quite aggressive. WIF as well. Popcat, they're all looking the same. If there's a little bit of juice left in the tank, I think we can get a little pop here. Maybe about 5-10% quickly on BONK.
Okay, I'm going to check it. I do have another account that I can open some freshies on.
Yeah, I've got you. We can. Yeah, we must trade these things together. Yeah. Let's see if BONK's going to be our play. Let's fire it up here. So guys, I hope some of you held on to Athena and Sui from yesterday. They did hold their levels, and we didn't get candle closes under the zone. So those things are now cooking. You can see my soul is starting to print finally as well. We got a little bit going on here. Hey, Kyle, we long BONK here, bro.
I'm just checking. I'm looking at the different time frames. I mean, it's really moving. I think that it would be a little bit of a dangerous trade, but I think, I mean, if you're tracking and you've got good risk management, you can take it. Where's your invalidation going to be if you were to enter now?
Under this 4-hour candle.
Okay,
close under the 400 candle. Okay, there, we're longing the top, bro. Literally longing the top here of BONK. Send it to 0.
So
my exit is closed under the 4 hour, so it's 210, multiple zeros 21. I'm going to exit under that.
I'm going to have a look. Let me scroll through my list. I'm going to quickly check if there is any other opportunities over here in some of the other memes.
Maybe long the top by myself. Is that the plan?
No. Well, let's see. I think I'm looking at, okay, 𝗏 is one that just stood out to me. I'm going to just scroll through this list over here. What else have we got?
We need a popper. Yeah, look at 𝗏. Look at pull out 𝗏, bro. I'd love to see your views on that. This looks like a little tight little ranger. I think we could get a pop on low time frames.
I think, yeah, okay, 𝗏. I'm noticing 𝗏. I'm noticing Shiba Inu. Okay, I'm not going to look at Ponky. PEPE is already cooking. I'm not sure if we're going to chase that. So far we have 𝗏 and Shiba Inu, I think, as top contenders.
Dude, I like this 𝗏 out of that tight range. If you look at it on 5 minutes, I think it will be a banger.
Yeah, I can't believe this thing is still around.
What is 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, bro? What is this thing?
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I have no clue. I think CZ endorsed it at some point and the thing pumped. What else have we got? Where's that MOODEng? I'm going to get to MOODEng in a bit. Let's see, because I think that one's also looking good.
I played in MOODEng. Ooh, we might have a breakout on the 𝗬𝗔, and I'm actually eyeing a short for the 𝗬𝗔 later on. Okay, 𝗬𝗔 is a SUI DEX, so SUI's just actually taken off. So 𝗬𝗔 might be something for us here. It's now breaking a big horizontal as well.
Altcoin as well has been cooking. This has been one of the best charts in crypto, but yeah, it's obviously moved a lot. Let's see, what else have we got over here? Cats come down, Butcoin, Brett, BONK. Okay, there's your BONK trade. So far I'm leaning towards 𝗏 in terms of the memes. If I had to give a pick, I'm going to go on the low time frame. So here's 𝗏. Low time frame, let's go on like the hourly. You can see this is just starting to set. This is a beautiful consolidation range, which looks, I mean, it's a bit of a bull flag as well. Probably if you start to clear some candles above these highs over here, this one's going to get going. So using 5-minute time frame, not bad. It's good that it's above the Monday high. Money flow starting to turn back up. In terms of a risky trade, like I would probably lay some bids at about like here 1.14 personally, $1.14. Stop loss. Let's just see on some of the high time frames. Let's go on the hourly. I mean, this is what makes it tough because really I'd only want to stop out on this way down, but that's too far.
This is a typical breakout degen play that you're looking for on 𝗏, but I love this tight range. So if we do get this pop through this thing, I think it can run to about 1.29 quite quickly. Should be a nice little mover here if we get a pop.
Okay, now we're on 1-minute time frames, but let's just run.
I don't know, you were so degen, bro. I thought you were like Mr. Higher time frame, sit on the sidelines.
It depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. But I need to pull out the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 account in a bit. First, I want to look for a better opportunity. I've got the ETH trade on. What about something, pure retail? Maybe we like overthinking things over here, and we should be looking at like XRP or something.
Bro, I'm telling you, this 𝗏 is like making me feel aroused. Like,
look at this XRP. I mean, at least that this hasn't taken off yet. It hasn't even taken out the Monday highs.
Okay, well, it depends on how much risk you're prepared to take on. I know you kind of like a deeper stop, right? But if we're doing a degen play, I mean, we literally want to play that breakout candle. I'm going to keep watching this 𝗏 here. Find me an entry.
I'm going to try find a setup over here on XRP. I think XRP doesn't look too bad.
Proper old school.
I think XRP is getting ready.
LS Carey says, yes, XRP.
I mean, I'm usually someone that dunks on XRP, but you got on the super low time frames, 5-minute over here, bullish divergence. What's amazing about this thing is it has so much liquidity that I can say we're buying XRP now and they're not going to move the market. The degens in the chat over here can buy it now, and there's plenty of liquidity in this.
I see Sniper Paul is in the house. Now, Sniper Paul's in Chart Hackers with us. He only trades 𝗏 and he makes ice cream. And that's his thing. He's like the 𝗏 king.
He makes physical ice cream.
He literally makes ice cream and trades 𝗏. I swear, okay. That's his gig. He fucking nails this 𝗏 all the time. So he's like super excited, that we're talking about 𝗏. Okay, build us an entry on XRP. I'll trade this shit coin only because you want to trade it.
Okay, I've got to use a 𝗓𝗓𝗔 account though. Let's just see how much we got in here. We got about 17K. We got XRP. Let's use.
I just want to long the top of shit. I'm just excited.
So I'm gonna take a XRP trade over here. I'm gonna run this one on 10x.
Okay, I'm taking it with you, dude.
Excuse me?
I'm taking it with you.
Let's just flip to isolated over here, 10x.
What is your stop?
Right. No, I'm scaling in, so no stop. 5% entry to start off with over here.
Oh, like you going for like a big situation here. So I mean,
I'm going to scale into the trade. I'm going to scale in. So it's starting to reclaim some levels. I know I'm on a super low time frame, but this is starting to turn.
Like I want to join you on XRP, but I don't want to sit for a drawdown of 5-10%. I'd rather just jump out.
No, you're not going to have much drawdown if you're scaling in, but I only put 5% of the account in now.
What is 5% of your account?
Well, it's 5% of this account is a 17K account. So what?
Okay, so how much are you long?
There, that is. Okay, we long. That is 8K.
Oh, okay. Rookie numbers, bro. Okay, so I'm gonna go long XRP.
It just started scaling in. We need a little bit of momentum over here.
I didn't come here for a haircut at 9:30 in the morning,
please
bro.
smash the like for us. Let's get the show content out there. Also subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. This is not financial advice, right? This is a high risk game over here, but
cool. Okay, I've banged out a tight stop. Okay, I've gone long $15,000 here on XRP, and let's see if there's a little bit of momentum here. We'll start adding a little bit more. Oh, you're drawing trend lines here. You're getting the full fucking stuff out here, bro.
Yeah, well, we need. I mean, my expectation is in the next. It might take a bit of time, right? It might take about an hour or so. But if we can start to break, I know we're not going to be here for that full hour, but if we can start to break above this,
we're gonna be here, Doops. We're gonna be here for that full hour. If this shit's gonna break out, bro, I'm holding you here. You're gonna be my hostage. You're gonna go.
Okay, let's see where. So yeah, hopefully that bullish divergence plays out. I'm looking for something like this, a little bit of a high-low, start to break that structure and turn the trend over here. This is low time frame. Remember, we've lined this up with the high time frames. So the high time frames still look decent. I'm going to move XRP towards the top of the list here since we're actually in a trade there. The ETH one is looking good. Okay, we're up 23% on that. If it can just clear the top of this range, right, then ETH should start to cook. Where's our ETH setup on my other chart?
I'm so disappointed in ETH, bro, but I'm prepared to go long. I'm prepared to go long ETH with you.
This is the full send level, bro. If it literally says it on my chart, you understand what that means. That means it's legit.
Did you actually type full send?
It's the full send level. This is gospel.
That's a bull. That's quite bullish.
I thought it was a GTI out of the.
No, it's a. It took the catalytic converter out of that one.
I thought it was a GTI that removed the buffer from his exhaust or something.
Full send. So are you full send? Must I open like a big ETH here, bro?
This is my full send is on my real account.
Because if ETH is gonna rip here, I mean, I think. Fuck, bro. If ETH's going to do 5%, Sol's going to do like 7. Sui will do like 15, surely. Or you just a little bit more conservative here?
No. I think it's very possible. I just think that, look, this is on my main account, which I don't share publicly, but I don't want to take the risk, on Sui or Sol on my main accounts. I feel more comfortable with higher liquidity and volume on ETH right now. So that's the reason.
I hear you. Popcat's going, Bonk is going. Let me show these degens this whiff, bro, while we're waiting here. While we talk
share your screen.
Dino coins like ETH. Okay, here's my plan on whiff. I've broken it down into the 15-minute time frames. You can see what's going on. If you're nibbling now at the moment, you are nibbling into resistance. You're essentially buying the top, which is what I did with Bonk. Okay, so as long as you understand the risk involved. So if you're buying a breakout play, remember, I'm a reversal trader. I want to buy shit when it drops into my zones. Okay, when we get to these upside zones, these are careful zones. These are typically reversal areas to the upside. But if you have a momentum bias, you can look at this thing with a slightly different cap on. And if you're buying here, you can nibble a little bit, but don't be surprised if it pops through and then reverses back down to that range low and that type of situation. So my typical strategy here on these breakouts, and I'm going to do exactly the same with BONK as well. It's the same principle, is we want to see it stick its head through this horizontal. We want to see it pop through, and then typically it's going to reject at another horizontal. So you'll probably see the rejection there. And then the real test is, are the bulls actually going to step in when they come back into this range for the next push? So I typically look for a nibble in this zone under the resistance. And then the real trade is when we dip back in. And that zone is typically a 382 region that I look for. So you're going to basically just drag this up until there's a rejection. And then you're going to look for that 382 fib dip there, bang, and that is basically where the bulls have got to hold. Okay, so you got to get that break first, and then you turn filthy. But my real game is the reversal stuff. Like I mean, how we caught Ondo, how we caught Link, how we caught Popcat, and all these types of things. Yeah, like Ondo. This is my real game. Okay, my real game is drop into the zone when everyone's shitting themselves, and fire up an entry when nobody wants to be long and everybody wants to sell. And that's when the hot zones come into play. So that's my real game.
But go back to WIF. I think, wasn't that like approaching the fourth test of that upper trend over there, that horizontal on your 15-minute time frame, the WIF one? That
5 million trades.
Yeah, there we got 1, 2, 3. This is approaching the fourth. So I mean, high probability that. Yeah, exactly what you're looking for. I think the fourth might give a little quick fake out, shake out the breakout traders that are buying above the top of the range, slam them down one time, make them panic, and then smash it back up for the fifth test, which is inevitably going to leave. That's going to leave the range.
Reversal. Yeah, my oscillator's reversing on the 30 there. That looks okay. Let's just look 45. I just like to play. I like to play this oscillator as much as possible. This also tells a story. Okay, that cash flow is okay. It is trying to turn up a little bit. And then obviously higher time frame, guys. Like a lot of these things are still looking okay on 8 hour and things like that. We've got a lot of, this isn't a good example, but we've got a lot of tokens at the moment on 8 hour that printed bullish 8 hour divergence, which tells me we could be leaning towards higher lows for the alts until at least we overcooked on some of those oscillators. So that is an interesting thing as well. Obviously trying to get long, but try not to get rinsed at the same time. Like longing the top too much with things like BONK. But yeah, that thing is starting to do something here for us.
Yeah, the things are looking good over here. We're starting to build this XRP trade, so we're up a little bit. We obviously on a super low time frame, but we just need a little bit of more pressure to start to buck this trend on XRP and shift things. Then you reclaim that 50. We got that low time frame 5-minute bullish divergence. It's starting to
so degen, Doops. You are so degen. 5 minutes, bro. How
else are we going to get our entries? This is the only way. At least this has been my messaging, right? I am just trading the market. That's it. I don't hold any long-term investment things or anything like that at this point in the crypto cycle, because at any point from now, the market could top. Honestly, at any point, and we know when it tops, the moves down are violent, right? We see moves like 20% in one day from things like Bitcoin or ETH. That's unbelievable. And I don't want to be caught offsides on a downward move like that, right?
Yeah, I'm totally on board. The S&P looking very toppy. There's a lot of reasons why we should get some kind of correction, and we've got gold looking super bullish as well. And actually, I thought that hard rejection last night on BTC at 109 or 109.5 or whatever, I thought, fuck, that was it. I actually thought, geez, we've actually caught the top here. And they came back violently, these agents, even even with this Japanese situation going on, they still came back and they started buying it. So I'm assuming there's been some news on that front at the moment.
Let's see. We have a few retards in the chat. Here's one.
He says you literally sold your alts at the bottom.
I mean, some people you just can't help. I don't even know what to say. What I always suggest is all you have to do is go look at the evidence, go look at the price chart at the bottom when Bitcoin was at 15.5 to 17, and then all you have to do is go look at what I was saying over there. Most of these people, the problem is that they come into the market cycle so late, and they assume that, what I said on my show today, The bear markets are for buying aggressively. The bull markets are for selling. Literally, this is the way that you make money. That's why you can never please, unfortunately, you can never please everyone, because 90% of them will always be wrong, right? And they always, you know, the ones that make the most noise. And it's just the way that it works. It's just the way that the market works.
This is what happens, and I wish they did it on for me more, okay? When the market is red and falling over and capitulating, like, nobody comes, okay? And then those are the days we make the money. Those are the money-making days the market's falling over.
That's when the views are the absolute lowest, yes. And that's why they miss the message. They miss exactly what was said at the bottom when the volume is the lowest.
Boo, but by the time the market's green and we are taking profit and everyone's now looking for these final buying the top breakouts and things like that, then they're getting frustrated that you could have done the work and come when it was red and when it was falling over.
In my opinion, that's why it's so important to, you know, if you want to actually put sizable money in, because most of these people that complain they have $50. Like, let's just be real. So if you're serious about it and you actually want to put real money into the market, it's vitally important that you know, you stick through it, through thick and thin, even on the most boring days. Like, usually the days where us as creators and traders want to kind of like give up, you know, we just feel like we don't even want to do a show or anything. I found that those are actually the best days to be establishing positions. So
always. I'm looking at MOODEng because they're shouting at us in the chats. Maybe we get a little poppy on this MOODEng. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, remember what to do. Hit that like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. This is Crypto Live, okay? So we're occasionally going to just be here on this channel, and the only way you can get notifications is if you are subscribed and you have the bell on. So make sure you are doing that, because we occasionally are going to do these little impromptu trading sessions on this channel. So make sure you are there. You can obviously find Kyle on the normal Banter channel, and I'm always on Banter Plus on the B team. Monday to Friday.
Well, I'm also on the B team. I'm just on the crypto B team, crypto banter, and you on the B plus team. But guys, also we both have crypto schools full of free education, both linked in the description below for those of you that do want to join. Remember, joining the school is bigger than just going through the course. The biggest benefit I would say over there is actually being part of a community. That's the important thing, right? That you get to go through the experience with other people. I can't tell you how much easier trading has become since developing these communities like this right now, right? You get to go through the emotional phases together. You get to look at things together and learn from each other's mistakes and also learn from each other's successes, right? It's amazing.
And I think the people in the chats are mostly from Chart Hackers and Whale Room as well. And I think they can attest to the value of the community here, guys. So just let us know in the chat. Hackers, are you here? Whale Room people, are you here? And it's all about the community, guys. That's really what it is. And it's like he's saying, it's helped us all actually become better. And Sue says she's done both schools. So guys, I mean, here's the thing. Okay, while we're waiting for this MOODEng, we might get a breakout here on MOODEng. Let me tell you something. So if you're wondering how I knew, okay, why did I have conviction to buy a $200,000 long last night when the market was falling over? Why did I buy $200,000 long Bitcoin last night? Okay, if you want to know how I did that, I use my hot zones. Okay, I use my reaction areas, and I trust those things, and I back those things to do what they need to do. And if you want to find out more, I'm busy with my accelerator course right now, and it is live. So that course is happening. There it is. And I did workshop number 1 on Tuesday, and we discussed building hot zones in the workshop. And then this next coming workshop, we are going to be discussing how to pass a Bitfunded challenge, because everybody who completes my school is going to get a Bitfunded challenge for free. Okay, so you just need to complete the school. And the workshop number 2, I'm going to teach you guys my system on how I got funded accounts from Bitfunded. So I had 3. I got rinsed on 1, actually, Kyle. But I got rinsed on a dump on 1 of them. But I've passed 3 of these Bitfunded challenges. And I've got a little strategy that I'm going to share with you guys. So make sure you are signed up to the accelerator course. If you want to understand the hot zones, it's really not that complicated. It might look complicated if you're a new trader and you're trying to understand a bit of trading view, but I can tell you what, 10 shorter, or not 10 videos, 10 days, you're going to be trading leverage with me. You're going to understand these reaction zones and why they called the hot zone. So super simple. And obviously you're going to get a bit funded. Okay.
Yeah, I think as well for Bitfunded, whenever someone that doesn't have much capital comes to the market, my highest recommendation is actually to first learn how to trade with very minimal money, you still want to put some money on the table because you want to go through the emotional swings and things like you actually have to lose something to really learn. So I would say like starting with, what you can genuinely afford to lose, practice with that, but you should be able to replenish that account at least weekly. So it's like, some people can lose like $50 a week, then practice with $50, develop strategies over time and learn to read the market. Once you can do that, then you go for these prop firm challenges, right? Which is
I must tell you, my experience with Bitfunded is it really teaches you patience, because one of the things as a degen trader is you always want to be in the game and you always want to be taking a trade. And the system there is actually, you rather go way less trades. And for me, I'll just give you a little tip. I did 2-hour or 4-hour reversal trades on Bitfunded, and I only took one per challenge. I kept it super simple, and I waited with conviction for those things. And the nice thing about it is once you pass stage 1, it makes you wait 5 days. So you can't do anything. You have to sit on your hands and wait. And that is the best, because so many times you'll get a winning trade and then you'll jump in straight away and get rinsed and burn that cash. So I mean, I had a good experience getting through that stuff. Mr. Andrew says, 𝗬𝗎 breaking. Guys, 𝗬𝗎 is on there. Look at this, 8-hour bullish divergence. It's cooking. Okay, that is looking good to me now at the moment. And this we picked up earlier. That is why I jumped into that 𝗬𝗎 on LBank. Okay, there you go. Now it's cooking there. Unfortunately, I didn't get in a big enough size there. So now it is starting to print, fortunately. And remember, when 𝗬𝗎 starts running, things like CETUS will start running with it as well. So those are the type of things you want to watch. And I'm obviously tracking the CETUS. I'm a little bit scared to ape into a long year. Going to get rinsed here if this thing dips. But you can see what I have teed up for you guys at the moment. Anybody that is trading the CETUS at the moment, this is your big danger zone, 286. And I would most likely look for some kind of reversal on my oscillator at that 286 region. So you can see this thing's got a lot of time to go, maybe on some lower time frame. So we might get a reversal at that 286. But right now, I think we are locked on for that target. It's just in terms of me jumping into a trade now, it's just too much risk. It's 13% to the bottom of that current daily candle. And I don't fancy 13% on 20x rinsage. It's not really my best.
I'm still checking out XRP. It's starting to get going. It's not too bad. Like, I think that there's still an opportunity even over here. If I'm not mistaken, we haven't yet. We're almost breaking that trend. I think that this candle in the next couple of minutes is going to push it through that trend line that I drew, and then you can start approaching the Monday high.
But it's such a good mover. It annoys me. I mean, look, I'm up $30, so I owe you lunch, bro. But this thing just annoys me mainly.
Look, this is usually one of the true retail coins that people look at, which is why, like, I think the headlines of Bitcoin all-time high, they probably go to things like XRP, like just try and push this thing to all-time high. The money flows are starting to increase. It's looking like something could happen over here. I'm just going to remain patient on that. That's not my main trade. I think my main trade still remains ETH. Been very, very bullish on ETH for a few months now. And I'm targeting like much higher, still much, much, much higher on ETH.
What do you think about PEPE? What do you think about PEPE? Do you know anything about it?
I think, well, that's like a Chainlink competitor, but on Solana, Oracle solution.
Yeah. You know your stuff, Doops. You know your stuff.
I think for short-term trades, it's all good. Usually I'm trading with the whale members have quite a lot of capital. So usually we don't focus too much on these because it's just you just get these scam wicks up and down and low liquidity and things. But I think if you're going in with smaller money, your setup over there looks beautiful.
Yeah, look, we took it 2 days ago. So yeah, now it's cooking. There's no new entry, but there was a massive unlock on this thing. And what we saw was everybody was selling into this unlock. And then obviously the unlock arrived and typical fucking move. Now it starts moving back up. So
they often engineer that. Yeah, they often engineer that.
Yeah. So that was the play. But now, like, PEPE's got bullish divergence. Like, I don't have a high conviction on PEPE because I've heard a lot of mixed reports on, that it is a bit of a shitcoin and it's the link of Solana. But in terms of a short-term bounce play, in terms of the oscillators, you can see it's starting to play out so far. So look, I wouldn't jump in right now. It's already run. But in terms of that trade, we did a laddering in trade on Blowfin. I had 3 entries for this guy, and obviously now they've picked up. And looking for about 146, pretty much where we want to go on that.
Yeah. Guys, let us know in the comments, are you wanting more short-term trades that we're taking right here, right now? Or do you want longer-term things that you can buy and hold spot and basically just, as we say, spot and chill? Also there, I want to let you guys know as well. Firstly, we definitely need you to all subscribe. And for those of you just coming in, please subscribe. We're almost at 41,000. That's the goal here. The goal is to breach 41,000. Put out the good vibes
Subscribe
over there.
now,
Maybe we can do this.
Subscribe now or I cut it off.
Subscribe now, Dylan is fired. And the other thing is, guys, also, if you haven't joined Whale School, please do join. Use the link in the description below. As you can see, we've already started. We just did the second workshop yesterday, but there is one more to go. So sign up for the next round, right? The next one's coming up, I think, in June. It will be an absolute pleasure to have you guys there. All right, XRP. So this is what I'm looking at over here. I want to see a break of this, 15-minute time frame. If we start to break this, things will start to look good. That could happen as soon as in this next 15-minute candle. We got our momentum oscillator starting to move towards the upside. We can go on the 5-minute time frame. Money flow is increasing over here. It is recaptured on the 50 EMA, which I'm liking. So far, that's looking good. Right on super low time frame up, because this is very degen, right? We've officially broken structure, right? We first had the break of structure over here with your higher high. Price immediately came down, created a lower low, but now we have a higher high. So now we want to see that hold. So I am prepared to scale a bit more in if this drops a little bit lower to like 239. I've only entered 5% of my position in right now.
Proper XRP conviction. You would ride that dog shit down. I'm impressed, bro. I'm properly impressed.
For those of you that have just joined, I'm only 2% up on this one. The Blowfin account, we're looking good over here, 24% on this trade alone. And I think we are up by now. Where's my equity over here? We're up like over 30% on the total account, which is great. And we got this one running over here as well on Phoenix. We're up 3.7 because I just entered this one. All right.
You just went long on ETH.
Well, this one I went long, just before we went live here. No, literally as we started.
Okay, how big is that?
This one is, guys, don't tell anyone. This is actually my fiance's money. She doesn't know it's her ETH. So she'll be
setting it to 0.
It was 5K and now we've got it to 10, but she doesn't know. So yeah, this is looking, but there was times where I had drawdown. I was like, flip, I hope she doesn't ask for ETH back. This one's looking good. We've doubled the account already.
4.5% up. What leverage are you using there?
This is 10x leverage.
Okay. So it's still early days.
Look, I've entered this multiple times. Started at 5K, so the account is now 10.4. So it's more than 100% up.
Nice, bro. Very nice. You know what I'm doing tomorrow? Let me give you a clue. Okay, I'm gonna get. Okay, you actually have no idea what I'm doing tomorrow, but let me give you a clue. Okay.
Where's it? Where's the chicken? And what are you doing with it?
I'm trading against the chicken tomorrow. Okay, so David Tech and myself are joining a Bybit live stream tomorrow. And I'm sure you'll see the link in my Twitter or whatever. And we're trading his chicken versus my chicken. It's 50x leverage, $100 a trade. If the chicken eats out of the green bowl, we go long. He's using Popcat. I'm using Fartcoin. And
so they have the chicken on video, like you can actually.
I'm busy setting up my own chicken right now. Matt's actually helping me with it. So
did he bring it from Sri Lanka?
Yeah, he's getting it set up for me. So if the chicken eats the red out of the red bowl, I have to go short 50x. I actually wanted 100x, but they limited on Popcat to 50x,
yes.
So we might have to change it. But I thought 100x, $100, 5 trades.
No,
so we got 500.
This is the best idea I've ever heard of. This is brilliant.
So we're gonna pull that. And my chicken's name is Jeff. So I'm super excited for everybody to meet Jeff. And he's hopefully going to send me to Valhalla.
So you never know. I have a question for you. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
I don't know. Maybe Hardest knows.
Let's see if Hardest, the chicken or the egg, Hardest.
I don't know. It's got to get laid. So yeah, probably the chicken.
It was the rooster.
It was the rooster.
The rooster came first.
No, man. Okay, let's talk 𝗬𝗓 quickly. Let's talk 𝗬𝗓. I saw some of the guys in the chats. They were asking, what is the TP for 𝗬𝗓? So it depends on your time frame. If you ask Doops, you'll be like, oh, 𝗬𝗓's going to 6 or whatever.
Wait. I just want to say we're getting the break. We're getting the break here as well. Look, finally. On XRP. There it is.
Okay, so I'm adding here, bro. I'm adding
that break. So we up 3%. We up 3% on this trade, which we just entered. I mean, you could theoretically on the minute time frame, you could theoretically add, and you could have a pretty tight stop above our entry. I mean, look, what are my options over here? Very quickly, I could go full degen mode and raise the leverage to 100x here, and then just place the stop underneath that minute chart. What do you think?
Well, I'm not going to let it drop back. So I've now added. I'm now $25,000 long, and my stop option is 2.4, and my other stop option is 2.384.
Okay, I'm running 30. I've upped the leverage to 30x. Should I go even higher?
Dude, go fucking higher, Doops. Come on.
Okay, let's go. Guys, this is not financial advice. Dylan brings out the worst in me. Dylan brings me gonna start. I literally need to put in a stop loss before this thing takes me out. Hold on. Immediately break even stop. So 2401. That will bank 1% profit, and let's lock it. Bam. No chance of using this trade, guys.
I'm putting my stop under the 15-minute candle. So I'm gonna lock in my stop right now at 2.4. Where's your stop, Doops?
I put it at, now everyone's going to have the same stops over here. I put my stop, where's it written over here? I put it at 2.401, I think it was.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, 2.401, slightly above entry. And I'm running, what is this leverage? 50x.
No, but this is cross account, bro. So my account's actually like 5x or 10x or whatever. Like it's just the leverage doesn't matter when you're on cross. You just run at 200x or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time.
Yeah,
so
I came here for a good time, bro. And to hang out with you and trade XRP, I would never have thought we'd trade XRP. But
look, there's no chance of losing. That trade is banked. Like it's either we're going to Valhalla or we're just gonna stop out at break even. I'm glad to see over here ETH as well starting to move. Things are looking good. There's XRP. Let's quickly go to ETH.
BONK is still flat. BONK is still flat, bro. Let me show your screen. There.
Wait, my screen or what? Or yours?
I just showed your screen now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Guys, subscribe. Literally, Dylan's going to either get fired or he's going to cut it off if you don't get to 41,000.
No, fired and cut it off. The double whammy.
I think they should just cut it off.
Dude, I have cut it off before. I've run out of things to cut off. I mean, I've done it once. I threatened on the last bounce. So, I mean, I'm here again. Here we are again, bro. Running out of things to chop.
Okay, we're cooking on the XRP trade. Should we look for anything else? I don't know if I still have.
I don't want to go into too many. I want to talk. Did I cover the 𝗬𝗓 full TP zones here, or did we get sidetracked? I just want to cover anyone who's trading 𝗬𝗓 with me. Now, yes, this is what I said. I said Doops has got a macro higher time frame view, and he'll probably tell you 6 or whatever. But if you're a degen leverage trader, these are your options. Okay, 𝗬𝗓, if you called it down here or that little breakout, in the last day or so, we're talking about like this type of move. These are your first danger zones. So you here now 4.25 and then 4.6. These are two, I would say, pretty big danger areas. So it depends on your risk appetite. Are you going to bank the profits now, or do you want to possibly round trip it? Do you want to Hail Mary it and say, well, let's hope for the best? That is your call. Okay, so, we hear danger zone number 1 is in play, and then 4.6 is in play for the next zone. Same with SOL. SOL is sitting at resistance now. That 200-day MA is an absolute banger zone for us here. If we reclaim that 200-day MA on SOL, I think we're going, I think we've got 220 locked in, give or take. Here, we're looking at 200, and then we're looking at, where's our 220 there? Yeah, we're looking at 200 and then 220 for me. So if we can break this on SOL, I'm going to get quite aroused. I'm going to be quite excited. And then we're going to look for that. We're going to look for that final pump. So once we break that 200, I'm going to start adding to the SOL position here. You can see it's $79,000, and I'm going to add to that one if we get a little bit aggressive there. Wait,
what we need from you is your Bitcoin dominance chart, because that really tells us where our futures are. Where are we going?
I'll tell you right now. This is such an amazing tool, man. Jeez. Okay, so yeah, we in the alt rejection zone here. Next possible alt run, we in that area now. So this could be considered a little fake out of that zone. So if we carry on dropping, that's cool. But in terms of support, we're pretty close. So it could be a short-lived little dip here. Let's look at that guy over there. So 63.9, we already could be at TP before the next bounce. I think the next big move comes at 64.7, which is up there. This guy.
Yeah, that's nice where I'm hoping for the main rejection.
Yeah.
Like if you set in a low high over there, we're going to cook. That's it. Like things are going to fly. But I think that's also where people need to, on a more serious note, be really careful because when euphoria kicks in, it's very short-lived. That's very important for you to understand that you don't necessarily hold those, where coins are basically putting in double-digit gains day after day after day. That doesn't last very long. It lasts for maybe a few weeks, and you need to be prepared. Finger on the pulse. That's what I teach in Whale School, by the way, as well. I don't know, Dylan, if you've ever done Whale School. If you haven't, the link is below.
I do accelerator school every day of my life, bro.
But if you do Whale School, one of the things that I teach over there is specifically when to be concentrated and when to be diversified in terms of your holdings, right? How many coins you're holding. I think that it becomes a nightmare situation when you're in peak euphoria and you happen to be holding 100 coins, right? I think a lot of people got rinsed on that in November, December, holding so many coins when the market turned down.
I got slapped so hard on some of those memes, bro. It was such a deep burn.
I know, 100. I mean, I got taken out on a big trade, which I told you about personally, and that was, unforgivable.
Yeah, no, it was disgusting. I just try and learn lessons from these things and then try and make less mistakes next time because you can't.
Are we going to be less greedy this time? Are we? Or we're not going to learn our lesson?
All I know is we're always going to do dumb shit, but like we just got to do less of it. And then as long as you're doing less of it and you're being consistent, then I think you're going to be okay.
Our XRP is cooking, by the way. It's starting to take off. This is if you're looking at the low time frames, of course.
Because it's everyone on the stream buying it through.
I specifically chose a very highly liquid, highly esteemed coin so that they couldn't do that. Because
the real test is after the stream.
No, I don't think these guys can't move XRP. XRP is one of the most traded coins. It's for some reason, all the MetaTrader 5 guys who trade Forex and stuff, the only crypto they trade is XRP. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, they obviously just like it, like gold and shit like that. I suppose. I see crypto ladies here. Let's look at gold. So gold, this was my thing, Doops. I don't know. Tell me if you agree. I know gold and the S&P have been two different things at the moment. They haven't been exactly counter trading one another, but I've seen super bullish gold here. And gold on the 12-hour. Look at this divergence here, bro. This thing is looking so aggressive from these lows here. Yep. And, I've got the S&P looking at, there it goes. Okay, there it goes. Looking a little bit tired here, from that side. So I'm just looking at this drop in the S&P and a pump in gold. So I'm quite surprised Bitcoin's gone again. I'm actually very surprised.
It is surprising. It's like you kind of have these counter signals in a way where the S&P 500 has the potential to pull back. Let's go onto my screen over here and I'll show you. I mean, I've been looking at, which I did cover on the show today, but let's just quickly go on the hourly time frame. For the S&P 500, I'm targeting, or we were targeting while price was riding this trend line. I said yesterday, be very careful. This may break and then you may come down into this little gap that you have over here, which is about from there to there was about a 4% move, and that could cause a little bit of trouble for crypto, right? And then with that being said, you also, like you said, you have gold moving towards the upside over here, and that shows risk off, right? Stock market coming down to fill the gap, risk off because gold is moving towards the upside, yet Bitcoin breaks to all-time highs. So it's kind of like you have to trade the chart that's in front of you, and that's just the way we got to be. And that's specifically why I keep saying I personally don't feel comfortable holding like this massive portfolio where I'm just like, hoping for the best. I want to keep it active. I want to keep my trades very, very active, keep my finger on the pulse of the trades and be willing to cut and just trade each chart independently because we have these weird divergences taking place, right? Usually you see the market move in a specific way. S&P 500 goes up, crypto goes up, right? Gold goes up, DXY goes up and therefore crypto goes down. But that's not really the case. They're kind of their own market. As for gold, very high time frame though. You know, I'd been looking at, it's called the TV sequential, which is by a famous stock trader, I think from the 90s, named Tom DeMark. Tom DeMark created this 9-count system. And to make a long story short, you basically saw tops on multiple timeframes, right? High timeframes, like things like the yearly, things like the 3-month, you've got a 9-count top, which is basically screaming for a massive, massive top on gold. We saw it as well on the weekly time frame. I don't know if it did it even on the daily time frame, right? And that so far has held as the top, right? But the question is that the ultimate top? So I've been looking for, although it's very, very strong over here, as you've said, and you can also view this as a trading range, and maybe that was a shakeout, you've reclaimed the trading range, and you're going to run a turbo, and there is also the potential that this is just a bull flag, right? And you're going to have continuation. So I'm taking it as it comes. I'm waiting to see if you get a swing failure pattern over here. If you get like, a failed breakout out of this downward parallel channel, then I would actually say that would be a good short trade for gold. But I think looking for trades from both sides is a good opportunity. This was your first swing low. This would be a lower high. If you break below 3,000, that's where I said it's like lights out for gold. Then gold's going to pull back aggressively, and that should line up really nicely with our crypto thesis, which is ultimately a big breakdown in the
US. Yes. I like this chart a lot, bro. And I think the capitulation is, where's that big level at the bottom there?
There's I have to go on a high time frame like the daily. It is a bit
daily there. There's a massive level there. That's where we get the fuck out.
If we take this out, if we took this out, this yellow line over here is where every major top has occurred, right? I know it's messy, but it's got the vertical lines down. Every single cycle top or major top occurred in this yellow area, right? In this yellow area, which we're currently coming back into. So December, November top, here, yellow area, right? Ran it towards the upside. So we do need to be careful over here. What happens if that's it and the cycle's over? It's a real possibility, but this is why you have to keep your finger on the pulse of each individual trade, because what happens if we actually do this, right? And you mark down all the way, and you lose this horizontal.
You know what happens for me? We're gonna hit those zones, and that's where decisions get made and things relax and they consolidate or they reject. And as a leverage trader, for me, those are the big areas where I'm gonna be jumping out. This XRP is fucking cooking, bro. I'm gonna add to my XRP. Let's go. Let's add, bro. Let's add.
No chance.
Come.
No chance. 66% on XRP. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm adding more. Bang. Okay, there we go. My stop is now just under that candle. Okay, they can send me or end me now. It doesn't matter. We are good.
70%. It's cooking.
5,000 long now, bro. Let's go.
Let's check. Oh, look at that. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for coming. Heading for the Monday high. Let's go. The beautiful thing about this is the high time frames are still lining up for a serious move, right? That is the beauty of this, that this is probably on XRP, just a lovely little rounded bottom, right?
There's a nice little possible break here, bro. Look at this higher time frame.
We're cooking. Yeah, goes ETH. Woo! Thank you very much. My main account is screaming, buy a Lambo. That is what it's saying on the right-hand side over here, but I can't show that.
You know what I found, bro? Literally, true fucking story. Every time I start looking for cars and I start opening those like auto trader apps,
of course, stuff like that, buy the car. That's the sign of the time.
Every time the market falls over within 24 hours, I'm telling you now, every single time.
Course, it's actually that's the sign. I've said it so many times. When I feel like buying it, I buy it. That's it.
No, it's gross. It's so gross. Wagon Short says WIF prepping the breakout. We'll long one more top together, guys. Okay, you can see we're longing the top of XRP here, but if this thing blows, levels for me 2.5, 2.63. So there could be something in the tank here. Just protect yourselves, obviously. Let's get this WIF trade out quickly before we wrap it up. Guys, if you want to have a wiffle on WIF, okay? If you want to have a nibble, on WIF, this is where you do it, okay? You nibble a little bit here at the top, and you don't want to nibble on dupes, okay? You just want to nibble on some WIF, okay? And you do it here at the top.
No, you got to drop this gay stuff.
But why?
Why are you gay?
So look for this pop here in this area. Look for the rejection 1.19. Look for that, and then you're going to look for this 382 to hold. Okay, so if you're playing the breakout game, that is literally the strategy that I use for these breakouts, and that's what I did when I longed the top of BONK here. Okay, so let's see if BONK's going to give us a little pullback as well. But you can see that's green now. I've just added to Athena, the one we've been talking about all week on the show. I've just added $15,000 to that long. I don't recommend you doing that now as a fresh trade. I've done that because my trade was running, and we know this Genius Act can give us some kind of upside on this ENA. So it has broken this big horizontal now, and I just want to keep my entry below 4.06. So as long as I'm under somewhere in that region, I'm actually going to be okay. All right. So where's ENA? Yeah. Okay. 4.
How much did you look into the Genius Act? How much what do you know about this?
I read 5 tweets, and I saw a couple of the DeFi plays that were banging. Ave, Maker, CRV. I think Pendle was even running on that shit for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's apparently, I mean, it just means that they're going to give us, as far as I understand, it just means that they're going to give us some regulatory clarity around stablecoins. I mean, that's it.
Look, bullish, okay? Bullish. But in terms of this, I'm just dropping my stop here, 4012. So I'm going to put a hard stop, 4012. So this trade is essentially free now. So it's the same principle. They send you or they end you now, but they're not going to end me because
there's no better money than free money. You know, if you get that stop loss into slight profit, you know, you can sleep at night.
So we protected there. Now it's not on the profit yet. I got to give this breathing room here, but we close. We got.
That's always the hard part, is building that trade. You know.
Yeah. It's a nice size. Look at Sol. I've been so patient in Sol. I rode this thing down to like probably minus 1,000 or whatever. Now it's finally up 8,600. It's like just patience, like riding this thing. Okay, so guys, yeah, just be careful. Those are, I think, I don't want to give more. Okay, this path is nice. This path is doing well. Uni from yesterday is doing quite nicely. PopCat, guys, anyone trading PopCat? I'm obviously out of that one. You saw I had a banger yesterday. 55. Be super careful there. 55 PopCat. Next danger zone 59. Watch that. 55.59. Be super careful with PopCat. BONK is actually pushing into 223 here. That's going to be a little danger area there that you want to watch. So watch out. 223. Careful up there.
Do you think we're going to get slammed soon?
Yes.
Where, if you had to guess, when do you think?
Either now on the dominance at 63.8% off this 50-day MA, which is close, okay, because a lot of alts at resistance and dominance is now dropping into support, okay, so either there or maybe just a little bit lower here, 63.5, and you'll typically see it, like Sumi's at resistance, Sol's at resistance, ETH at resistance, and then you get this bounce on.
I think, some of the FOMO buys are getting smacked right now on the low time frames. You're getting like these little 5-minute pullbacks. But as long as you don't engulf this 5-minute candle, so for those watching right now, this is the candle that, if I just look at something like ETH, you know, has basically taken ETH from 2,641 up to the high. As long as you don't engulf this candle, bulls remain in control. If you engulf this candle, basically it's like get out there. So, you know, FOMO buys are just getting a bit tested right now off of this pump. And, you know, maybe this is going to turn into a wick and start to, you know, bull flag again over here. That's base case what I'd be looking for. So we're on a 5-minute time frame. Let's see what happens over here. XRP, we're still on the minute time frame.
It's a typical head short zone now. Like, I mean,
let me know actually in the comments, guys, did you take any of these trades with us? That's what we want to know. That's the first thing. Yes or no, let us know. We should do a poll if we could. And then let's quickly check the subscribers. For those of you that haven't subscribed, you know, Dylan's cutting it off.
Rookie numbers, guys. Rookie numbers. I want a long MOODEng. Okay, look here. This is my last one. This is my last one. Okay, my absolute last one. My ADF, absolute final here. 236 is going to be my stop. I'm going to take an isolated MOODEng here. Okay, this was the one I was trading in yesterday when they had that sell-off. I just exited. So I'm going to take isolated 10x. I'm going to take a tiny position. If there is momentum, I'm going to add to this thing. Okay, so we're not doing anything aggressive here. We're not doing anything stupid. very small position. You can see MOODENG, I've opened $3,500. Okay, if there is momentum, I'll add to this thing. Okay, so just be patient. Don't force these things. These things are so volatile; it can dump 6-7% in a second, pump back up and rinse you. So don't waste your money. But you can see in terms of MOODENG and that breakout, it's probably worth a look. Okay, so exit is 2359. 2359. If you close under that, I would say you're taking a bath, and this thing is going to hell. Trader Jers has got it right. He says, let's get lickied together. Bro, you know I've got Lickies shirts. Do you know what Lickies is? Have you ever got Lickies? Hey, liquidation. I've got a merch store, bro. You have to buy my shirts. You got to buy them.
Where are they coming from?
My shop, Lord of Entry.
Where are they created? Where are they made? Where are you making them? Is it like local or is it coming internationally?
It's not local. Where do you want them made, bro? I'll slap that label on for you.
No, I don't know. Made in China is good for me.
I'll get the China label, bro. You just tell me as long as you buy one.
I think that's mandatory. It comes with it.
It comes with it. Rinse. You get bullish, you get banger, you get liquidations, you get disgusting, you get bullish cap. Okay, look at that banger. Handbags. And then coming soon, dudes, check this. It's a secret.
Okay, I need to grow a beard though if I want to get that beard oil.
No, your beard game is poor.
I just shaved this morning though, literally.
Yeah, but you mustn't shave. That's your problem. You must just not shave.
No, I can't get past that phase. Okay, guys, let me just quickly show one thing over here. So look, this is what we said, right? That's what I expected about coming into the equilibrium of this candle. I know it's low time frame stuff, but the principles are still the same. Coming into the equilibrium, testing it. Now we want to see this bull flag, right? On ETH, and then that should prepare for the next move towards the upside. Let's quickly check over here. Let's maybe change the time frame and view the 5 minutes. See how that's looking. So same story over here on XRP. Hopefully we got the perfect entry. Hopefully now you just same thing, range a little bit, bull flag over here, and then send it. The most important thing for you to remember is this: in the wise words of Donald Trump, there's no crying in the casino. No crying in the casino. We've given you the trades, they're in profit. Put your stop loss into break even, and we don't want any crocodile tears from you. Other than that, I think I have to go, bro. I need to go on to...
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up.
I need a pre-record a video now for you guys, which is coming out in about a week's time. There's
what is it about?
It's actually about this insane wallet that they send me. It's so freaking cool. Look at this. Look at this thing.
Jeez, okay.
It's called the BitKey wallet. I'm doing a video on it. It's called the BitKey wallet. But it's like, you usually have this issue in terms of recovering funds. Like if you lose your ledger, cool, you have to have the seed phrases, right, to get it back. But with this, they have multi-sig, and you can, put it into your will. You can also, in terms of nominating somebody that you trust as a family member, where if you lose your wallet, they can help you to recover it. But BitKey, which is the company, they only hold 1/3 of the seed phrase. So basically, you just need to have either the device or your mobile device, and you need the two to come together, and basically you can restore your Bitcoin funds. And it's created by Jack Dorsey and Circle, which is pretty legit.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. You know what, talking about seed phrases, you know what happened to me? I once was trading ETH memes on a Telegram bot live on the show.
Oh, and I know this.
Showing the bot.
Yes,
and my seed phrase was exposed, and probably within 2 minutes, all the money was drained out of that wallet.
Of course.
You guys are filthy. I thought you were watching me for alpha, not to steal from me. I mean, fuck it up. But yeah, they drained my wallet.
They're there to teach you a lesson, bro. It's quickest fingers first.
Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this up. But, dude, that was great, bro.
Amazing, guys. Yes. Yeah. Subscribe. If you want us to do it again, please subscribe, share it with a friend as well. And that's it, right? We'll see you on the next one. Cool. Cheers. I'm out. I'll see you on the next.
Later.